Hello, everyone. Sorry to make everybody wait so long. Welcome to the stream. We will be exploring the new Procreate update and revisiting some old art of mine from 10 whole years ago. So thanks everybody for joining. And let's just get into it. If you missed the last stream, I actually don't recommend going back to watch it, and I know that's not a great look, but there was a part of the middle, a good half hour, where I was just trying to keep the stream from dropping. That was pretty much all I was doing that stream. It dropped a lot, and since then I have deleted truly so many files off of my computer, mostly like programs that I downloaded and used once and never again, stuff like that. So thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of files. And now it seems like, according to all of my little stats in the corner, that things are going pretty well down there. I'm gonna pull them up just to, yeah, everything seems good so far. So that's great, and I'm just gonna keep going and see how we do. If you missed the last stream, we're looking at a couple of Undertale NPCs who I fell in love with and couldn't find a single bit of information about at the time, so I just kind of drew them and let it be that. But then looking back at old art, you know, I realized that I kind of still think about these guys a lot and how I never got to know anything else about them. And then that prompted me to revisit them for the stream. I actually looked up a little bit about them before the stream, before Tuesday's stream, and I learned that they have names. They have whole names, which is great, because truly when I was playing Undertale like as it first came out, so at the time, like literally there wasn't any, like the internet was trying to figure out what the hell I was even talking about. And since then, I Googled them earlier this week. Hi, Katie. You're my beautiful angel. And she is. The little flame girl, her name is Fuku Fire, I believe. And the skateboarding slime girl, her name is Skateboarder Girl. So, two ends of the spectrum there. But I love them very much, and I am not the only person who has drawn fan art of them and headcanoned them as meow and headcanoned them as girlfriends. So, I was on the cutting edge, people. I was on the cutting edge 10 years ago, and that's kind of my whole deal. In Procreate, I am trying to look at, I've already experimented with a lot of the different brushes and settings already, just because of who I am as a person. And I have landed on this brush called Overland. It's not in the pencils or the inks section. It's all the way down in the oils. Or is it in the pastels? Where'd you go? Oh, that's paints. That's pastels. It's in pastels. I saw PA and I assumed that I was reading correctly. Hi, Katie. I'm sorry. Yeah, and I really like how it feels. I have a whole section here in the promising category for all of the new brushes. The settings seem to be really fun too. I'm noticing that there is a rip in my leggings right at the butt. So that's cool and fun. I've been walking around on these. I've been walking around wearing these. How did I not notice? Anyway, I forgot what I was saying, but that's okay because the Adderall is going to kick in here any minute now. I also have a gorgeous iced tea with mint and honey that is contrasting my dinner that is standing here looking at me of chili cheese fries. So my body is going to explode in about 2 or 3 hours. So that's what I have to look forward to because of the decisions that I made. Yeah, but I really think is going to, hi, Katie. I think that probably the only thing that's going to, trip me up is, the sensitivity on it. Not the sensitivity, but, so when you go into the settings of Procreate, and you go to pressure and smoothing, I have settings already set. The stabilization doesn't do too, doesn't affect the way that the brush, effect works. It just kind of is about the delay. But the sensitivity, curve, that does have a lot to do with it. And there are some brushes that I feel like I need to add, a different pressure sensitivity, and some of them that I don't feel like I need to add a different pressure sensitivity. And it's very hard to tell in the settings of the brush. So, if you go in here and go into the settings of the brush, you can test in this little area, but I feel like this test area is not very indicative of what you will find here. So it just makes it hard for me to assess that per brush. So I usually kind of just pick a couple brushes and I stick to them because that's what all my settings are for. So I'm going back through and messing around with different settings, and with these new brushes, I do want to have the what the designers intended for the app. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. golly gee willikers, when was the first time I made something digital? I have always kind of struggled with oh, what's happening here? Sorry, I got my phone wanted me to know about what on earth? Hi, sorry everybody. Okay, I wanted to double check that the stream was still working. Anyway. It's very interesting to go back and look at old art and like see what has changed, what has grown, you know? I think maybe the reason why I like messy sort of line art brushes. My favorite line art brush from the original pack is the dry ink brush, for example. Oh, and this is another cool thing about Procreate, is that you can go into, there's different libraries. So this is all the new stuff up here that's selected in blue, and then my classic library is what was like I already had in Procreate. So all the old stuff is still there, like custom stuff is still there, you know, brushes that I bought are still there. So I think that's really cool too. But anyway, the brush that I use the most for inking is my dry ink brush. And as you can see, it has that very like rough quality to it. And it's because I do so many, like I just kind of layer it on top of each other over and over and over and over and over and over to create the line that I like. I really haven't been able to find anything that like, you know, it's very freeing for me as an artist, because being able to, you know, a perfectionist, it's nice to have a brush that its whole deal is that it's messy, so that way I can like build it up as I want to, and like it helps me like move on, like, because if I feel like if like for example, this is a very, well actually I think that one's not even a good example, but in like the pens, Alpine, this one's a very like beautiful, like clean line. I forgot that. What's the one that's, I think, is it in inks? Who am I looking for? Where are you? This one. Like this one's like just kind of, it's right down the middle. It is a clean brush, and I feel like all I would do is, you know what I mean? Like, this doesn't give me as much room to like build and like let it be messy. I would just keep going back until it's not the right, it's still not the right shape, so I'll just keep going, and I will just like keep going until, you know, it's bulky, and then when I go back to erase, I would like make sure that it's like extremely easy, you know what I mean? Like I would just do nothing but like freak out about the details. So I'm very pleased with the effect that this one, yeah, that like bumpy brushes has. They just, did anybody else play Undertale? I know that it was like the biggest game. Like it beat Ocarina of Time for like best video game of all time. How good of a game Undertale is. Yep. Oh, great. I thought I saw that we were experiencing dropped frames, but that's not true. We're doing great. Okay, great. Anyway, very contentious. But it's also been a really long time. I guess Deltarune is alive and kicking. I haven't played Deltarune yet. I should play Deltarune. There's a lot of things I should play. I also should play Hades 2. I think that the best way for me to see which of these brushes that I like the best is to just keep going. You know what I mean? Like, again and again and again and again. Just take sketches and just do an entire piece with just that brush. I think that that'll be the way to find out what I feel like works and what I feel like doesn't work. Because it's really hard to tell when you're just like making like random lines. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take a bite of this food. Don't tell anybody. Excuse me, one viewer. Don't tell anybody that I took a bite of this food. Don't tell anyone. Sorry, I'm making posts about how I'm streaming. I know that I need to schedule those posts, but alas, I have not. I'm actually going to leave that blank. Hi, Katie. Hi, baby girl. Hi, baby angel. Hi, Angel. Yes? Yeah? I'm sorry, baby angel. Yeah. My beautiful lady. Sorry, Angel. Baby girl. Okay. Can I see my phone? Thank you, baby girl. Sorry, I'm spreading the news. Okay. Cool. Okay. Sorry, I am promoting my work, and because I don't have, you know, a bunch of different, I'm not a professional yet. I'm still becoming one, so I don't have all the cool tools or whatever to do all that stuff for me. But that's a work in progress. Hi, Katie. I try very hard as an artist, a digital artist, to not press the undo button as much, because I feel like it becomes a crutch really quickly. So I try very hard to, whenever possible, like actually go back in and erase or, you know, whatever. Sometimes I just straight undo it, but there's a lot of times where I do try to, because I feel like that just makes me not that there's anything wrong with undoing. I don't have any beef with people who do it. It's a part of the tool set for a reason. Use your tools. I just feel like for me, because I'm such a perfectionist, I can rely on it really heavily. So I try very hard to, make the strokes count. Haha. Sorry. Make every line count and, learn how to build with what I've made. You know what I mean? I get it, dog. I fucking get it. it helps me be a braver artist too, I think. If I'm, willing to, if I have to trust myself a little bit more, you know what I mean? Okay, well that one was too much. Okay. Another thing I really like about the chunky brushes is that it gives me an opportunity to go back and shape lines. I love shaping the lines. This is a holdover from when I first started making digital art. I was using Paint Tool SAI. Shout out to a real one. And I didn't have a tablet at the time. So I was exclusively using my mouse and my keyboard to use that drawing program. And there's a tool in there, at least, there used to be, probably still a thing, but there's a tool in Paint Tool SAI that, like, you make a line and then you can go back in. So, like, there is like a degree of that here in Procreate, but in Paint Tool SAI, it was very advanced. You could add different points of curve. You could, like, change its thickness. So, like, I would go in and, like, like, I would click delicately along, like, the line art, and then to make, like, it would be like start a line, and so I started a line here, and then it would, like, drag to here, and then it would drag to here, and then so I would just, like, do that, and then when it was done, each line, I had to, like, because I didn't have a drawing tablet, I very, like, carefully and intentionally, like, molded, and even though that was really tedious to do, it, like, never, like, was a barrier for me. I was just, like, so excited to make art. That I just was like, yeah, this is how you make art. Let's go. So I think that that's kind of a holdover from that too, is just that, like, the joy of creation, and just being excited to have that sort of access to digital art. At the time, digital art, like, was really for the professionals. Like, it was very hard, actually, to break into digital art when I was in high school. And not to be, like, not to sound like a boomer or whatever, but, like, you had to buy so much, like, hyper-specific stuff in order to, like, do it. It's wild. It's a wild time. Can't believe it. Looking back on it, I'm just like, I don't know how I got any fucking art done. It's crazy to me. Because, like, the type of art that I'm making now and in the way that I am making it now would have blown my mind. Like, 14-year-old me would have been losing their shit seeing what I am capable of doing now. Like, drawing on an actual screen, like, mimicking attention to you. I don't pay attention to babies. I don't pay attention to babies. Here, have this. Have this, silly baby. Nope, it seems like I have frames dropping. Fuck. Okay, one viewer. I'm gonna take another bite of food. Don't tell anybody. This is our secret, okay? Don't tell anyone. Hey, baby girl. Silly weirdo. Sorry, I had to play with my cat because she's so mad at me. My cat, Katie, who is the silliest little lady. Here she is. There she is. She's very territorial, and so when I come home smelling like other cats, which I do frequently because I'm a cat sitter, my day job is cat sitting, she just gets so angry, and then I jump on the internet and draw for the internet, and she's just so mad that I smell like other cats and I'm not paying attention to her. So that's why she features so prominently in the streams, is because if I don't, she'll kill me. Hi, Angel. Hi, baby. Am I commenting on my own videos? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't have any shame. I don't give a shit. I will go back and watch my own streams. I don't give a shit. I need to do some quality control one way or another. If I don't look back at my work, I slowly watch my own videos. I don't care. This is not, I think that the toughest part about revisiting old art is that I don't necessarily, the way that the clothing folds are, I'm not necessarily like super into, but you know, I'm trying very hard to not like completely redo these, because that's not what it's about. It's about messing with the brushes. Hi, pouty girl. I know, I'm sorry. To everybody who is joining, hello, welcome, and revitalizing it with the new Procreate update. This art is truly ancient, but I think about these two a lot still. These are NPCs from Undertale. And at the time, when I discovered them, they kind of show up a little later in the game. Looking good. They show up a little later in the game. When I first encountered them, I tried to Google anything about them, And the game was so new at the time, do them for my sake. But I think about them a lot, and then and think about how I'm very excited about. I don't know. I just really like these like little guys that I made. And yeah, when I was planning to come to the stream, I was like, I should zhuzh up, because I didn't want to get bogged down with sketching a whole new thing, because that sometimes gets me in trouble. And it's where I spend I think 90% of satisfied with. So I didn't want to get bogged down doing that. I wanted to just jump into the inking process. And so that's why I grabbed some old art, and I went back and I found these guys again, and I was like, well, why not? I love these little guys. Yeah, and Googling anything about them had just come out, and there just wasn't any information about them yet. And I learned their names. This is the flame girl. Her name is Fuku Fire, I believe. And the slime girl with a skateboard, her name is Skateboard Girl. But immediately I was like, my God, they're schoolmates. And started, I was like, those are girlfriends. You can't tell me otherwise. And at the time, again, couldn't find anything about it. But when looking them up recently, there's lots of fan art of them, and everybody else also thinks that they're girlfriends. So really on the cutting edge here. Meow meow. Meow meow. Come here. What's wrong, Angel? Saddest angel on the planet. Okay. The brush that I'm using is actually, it's not an ink brush or a pen brush, it's actually a pastel brush. Mostly because I feel like a lot of the ink pens, well, they do really cool, have some really cool paper effects. And hi Katie, welcome back. Hi baby girl. Yeah, are you angry? You angry with me? Hang on. We gotta have some Katie. We gotta have some Katie time. There she is. There she is. There she is. My baby lady. Hi, silly girl. Hi, silly girl. She hates it when I'm gone all day, and then I come back smelling like cats. And then, and then I sit down and I talk to the rectangles all day. That's my baby lady. Yeah. Silly girl. Yeah. Anyway, this is now a Katie live stream, and I hope everyone's okay with that. Beautiful lady. I'm trying really hard to not, like, fully revamp these guys, because, again, that's not the point. Wow, kiddo. It's like I've never paid attention to you a day in your life. Yeah, so vicious. So vicious. So vicious. Would you believe that this cat is like 18 years old? Would you believe me if I told you that? Yeah, we've had you for a million years. Yeah, you were a baby. Oh, goodbye. Okay, bye. Jesus, what a weirdo. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you, everybody, for coming on this ride with me. If I don't make things about Katie sometimes, she'll kill me in my sleep. And it would be completely within her right to do so. She is 6 million years old in cat years, so I'm talking about all art, like writing, drawing, painting, crocheting, all of it. Because a lot of the time you are trying to convey a concept without, like, it actually being the thing that you are, like, mimicking, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, like when you draw a Katie fans in the house, all art is illusion magic. You are trying to convince your audience that they are seeing one thing, when in fact they are seeing another thing. And I think that's beautiful. Like, these are lines on a screen, but I am able to convey, like, characters, even though you can't touch them or interact with them. You still believe that they exist, you know? Same with writing. That's just my second favorite form of illusion. What's your first favorite form of illusion? I need to know. Meow. Meow. But yeah, all art is illusion. The hierarchies of magic. Card trick. Art. You have your priorities, my man. What angel? What angel, baby? Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. She's back. She's back and madder than ever. Hi, Angel. Yes. All right, Katie Cam. You're so strong, and, like, you have some really good hand-eye coordination and strength for a woman of your age. She doesn't look like it, but so we, ooh, you got it. She used to be an outdoor cat. Um, and you know, I understand that the ethics of outdoor cats are not great. At the time, not really anybody knew that when we first got her. And this is the face of a stone cold killer. Her literal kill count, hundreds. Hundreds. Truly vicious killer right here. And she's now in retirement. She's no longer an outdoor cat. But she still craves blood. If she was approached, you know, red style, by a group of other animal criminals and was asked to do one last job, she would take it without a doubt. She would absolutely. Yeah, you're like the Helen Mirren of cats in that movie Red. Beautiful lady. Yeah, this cat is like ancient, and it's great. I don't understand her secret. Her not stepbrother, her half brother, Zirconium, who was a little bit younger than her by like a couple months or a year. He recently passed. Not Katie. Her, like, maybe she just took a lot of like bubble baths and blood or something as a yeah, truly ancient creature. Was there when Jesus died, you know? Yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe she just took a lot of like bubble baths of, I don't know, blood or whatever, and it like gave her eternal youth. Maybe she's like secretly some sort of demon cat, and so that's why she's like not really aging. Who knows? real vampiric energy out here. It's so funny because she has a younger brother who is fully like a dozen years younger than her, and he trolls her so much, and she just stands there and cries. And I'm like, hit him. Just hit him back. Maybe she takes pity on him. Maybe she's like, no, if I actually hit him back, he'll die. Yeah, Katie is literally older than this art that I am revamping right now. And that's crazy to me, because I drew this in 2015, at the height of Undertale. And that's truly insane to me. Anyway, if you're just joining us, we are exploring the new Procreate update with old art from when Undertale was in its heyday. These are two NPCs in Undertale that like are kind of later in the game, and at the time, I didn't know what their names were or anything about them because Undertale was so they are shipped hard. There's just these two schoolgirls that you like encounter in like the Hotlands, I think, later in the game, and they don't like say anything like, you know, crazy, you know, like they don't, I don't know, noteworthy to say, but like, you know, they're like a lot of things in Undertale, their dialogue changes depending on like what you had done earlier in the game. And I don't know, they were just like, I just liked their vibe, and I was like, okay, No, I don't want to overthink. I don't want to overthink it too much. I am going to actually undo a lot of this. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to keep that. I'm experimenting with this new brush set from the new Procreate library. The old Procreate library is still here, along with all the stuff that I downloaded and everything. And this is a set of brushes that I downloaded from the True Grit texture supply. And I love that the new format for them is so much more easier to navigate than it was before, and also they interact a little differently with Procreate. But these are all their brand new brushes. The rest of the canvas, I just think that they're really interesting. For example, where's a good one? Where's a good one? It just has this beautiful, it interacts with itself a little bit better. I know it's kind of hard to tell with the difference with YouTube, but they feel, hi baby, they just feel gorgeous. They just feel gorgeous. And I've already messed around a little bit in, hi baby girl, I love you. Purr. I've already messed around a little bit, and these are the brushes that I set aside as, ones that I thought that were interesting and I wanted to explore more. And so I am taking Overland, which is a pastel instead of an inking brush, because I like it when the brushes are a little, I don't know, I like when my line art brush is a little gritty. It keeps me from being super perfectionist. Because I have a tendency to really go crazy and just do the okay, don't overthink it. I'm not going to overthink it, and I'm not going to overthink it. And sometimes fingers just look like that. And it's not because I drew it wrong. It's because that fingers sometimes look like that. And also, it doesn't matter if the finger looks perfect because it's attached to a slime girl. She doesn't have perfect anatomy. She's a slime girl. She's a pixelated slime girl. It's fine. Everything's fine. Fellas, do you ever have to just talk yourself out of overthinking stuff? Hello.
I meant to ask you, did you get something for dinner?
Yep, I'm good to go.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Okay.
Said yes. That's technically not true, but I have my dinner sitting right here next to me. I'm going to actually take another bite of it. Oh, my camera was shifted off a little bit. Whoops. Okay, everybody, I'm going to take a bite of my dinner. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. This is our secret. This is our secret. Awesome. I made myself this gorgeous iced tea with mint and honey, and I am pairing it with chili cheese fries. So my body's gonna freak the fuck out in a couple hours, but hey man, the price of luxury, I guess. Another thing I really like doing with art, with my line art, is carving it like this, like kind of building it like that. I've heard, and this is not like something that I feel is true, but a lot of people kind of dread doing the line art part and really would rather just skip straight to like coloring. I feel the exact opposite. I love making line art. We dropped again. Dang. I wonder. I spent a lot of last. I'm sorry. The last stream. I spent a lot of time trying to keep this from happening. But this, yeah, my stream just keeps like popping in and out, which I think is not great. But we were doing a really good. We were doing good for a while there. But it just kind of looks like. Ay. Yeah, again, I spent, sorry, this is like, I'm just reading things on my thing now. No, yeah, I spent a lot of time last stream just trying to keep it from dropping. I deleted like 35,000 files from my computer. Hi, Skippy. Hi, Skippy. He went to the vet today. He went to the vet. Hey, no fighting. Shakira. Goodness gracious. Okay. He went to the vet today. Yeah, no, I spent last stream. There is a good. I usually would be like, yeah, go watch the stream again. Like it's still good eating. Last stream, not good eating. I was really struggling with trying to keep the stream up, and I fully deleted like 32,000 files. Sorry, 35,000 files from my computer of just like programs that I downloaded and used like once and then never opened again. And I know that doesn't have there's more to like stream connectivity than just like how your computer is and all of that stuff. So yeah, but I know that I have an older computer, so definitely the hi Skippy, the memory and the CPU of the computer itself is also very shorter lifespan than that now. So I feel like this is a new laptop, but in actuality, it's actually not. Hi Skippy. Are you a silly little guy? As you can see, Skippy has chased off Katie, despite the fact that we were just talking about how Katie is a ruthless killing machine and could take him in hand-to-hand combat any day of the week. But she lets him. I think it's not. So what he wants to do is like cuddle. He's a cuddler, and he wants to play. And Katie doesn't really want to play in the way that he does. And also, she doesn't like cuddling. She wants to cuddle with me by sitting as like pressing her like body against my leg or something. But other than that, she doesn't really like to cuddle. She's not a cuddler. So Skippy rolls up, tries to cuddle, and she's like, "I'm out of here, dude." I'm being a perfectionist. I can feel it. I can feel that I'm being a perfectionist. I need to stop. I'm moving on from this area now. Great. Katie. Katie. I don't know if you guys can hear her, but she's in the closet screaming. It's one of her favorite things to do. Like health. She is, you know, developing a little bit of kitty dementia. Is that okay? Does that look good? Hi, Katie. Do I like that? I don't know if I like that. Whatever. I think I'm just being critical. Well, I think I am going to. Hi, Katie. Hi, beautiful lady. No! Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Sorry that the stream keeps crashing out. I wish I could figure it out. Maybe I'll try to figure out how to, like, hardwire into the modem. Maybe that'll help. Because I do know that it's like, no, why must it do this to me? Goodness gracious. All right, let's keep going. Seems like we're okay. I deeply apologize for the stream dropping. I am but a humble dirt farmer. I don't know enough. I used to know computer stuff, an old one. But I need to relearn some stuff. I don't like how these eyebrows are turning out. Oh. Ba, 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 ba. I'm gonna do a flip actually. Hang on. No! Goodness McGracious. Ugh. Guys, I'm so sorry. It's a disaster. Ugh. Well, I don't know how to fix this, but I'm gonna figure it out, guys. It might not be, it's definitely not gonna be this stream, and it might not be next stream, but I'm gonna figure out what I need to do. Because it's important. I like streaming. It doesn't really matter if anybody's like here or not. But I do mind that even if no one was here, the drop frame rate is just not ideal, and it's not something that I want to, you know, I don't want to have it. I think I'm going to flip this back. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think yes. I think yes. Screen around a bunch. If it's the worst, time off. Because I unfortunately don't know if something is a problem unless somebody tells me about it. So, if there's something up, or if you think that, you know, treating it like a business, you know, I don't need feedback anymore, or I don't need feedback about like certain things, and it's, I think, the actual art itself. Okay, well, I definitely have overworked these eyes. And now I need to walk away from them. Beautiful. Can I help you? Can I? Sorry, Skippy's jumping around on the furniture in the background. God damn. The stinking mother. Okay, well, there's not really, I don't know if there's anything I can do about it. Like, my whole deal is that it's already pretty, yikes. My quality is pretty low still. Like, I think it's at the lowest it can be. And yet, there are still these issues. So I'm going to try to figure out what that means for hmm. 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 Hi. Hi, Mr. Mecca. Do you forgive me for taking you to the vet? For being complacent in your torture? Skippy is a Siamese, but he basically never meows. Which is odd for a Siamese. He has kitty trauma about it, but like, he meowed more today than I've ever heard him meow in his entire life. Because he was going to the vet. And it's been a while since he's been to the vet. Because, you know, we had senior citizen, what is it, the vet spotlight, and he fucking hates it. Dang. Seems like there's a lot of people in the club. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today, I am drawing, I'm doing line art on these old sketches that I made 10 whole years ago. Hi, Skippy. And we're messing with the new brushes. Hey, stop. Hi, Skippy. Sorry, Mr. Boy. I'm going to be playing with cats and doing this at the same time because they're never loved, ever. Not all of them. That's an exaggeration, but he does need to do big dental work. Yeah, big dental work for big boys. But he needs it. His teeth are a little rotten. Got rotten teeth. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. By the way, I haven't mentioned this stream yet, but in the description of the video, there is a link to my Patreon, and I'm using it more like a newsletter than, but you can also just sign up for free, and you still get pretty much everything. There's only a few things that you don't get on the free tier. I'm hoping that in the future I can do more with my Patreon, but right now I am just kind of focusing on getting foot traffic, honestly. What was I trying to say there? Who knows? My brain scrambled. I move on, and I'm moving on. Okay. I used to use Paint Tool SAI when I first started making digital art, and I think that that's the reason why I like line art so much, is because when I first started digital art, I didn't have a tablet. It was just all my keyboard and mouse. So there was a setting in like in Procreate has a similar thing. So like if you do this, you can edit the line, and like there's these little dots that you can like drag and hold, and make different, do this kind of thing. But in SAI there was way more options. You can add little points all along the line. You could taper, or the thing that I enjoy doing the most. Which I think is why I like these like grittier brushes, because it means that like I don't have to feel like it has to be like perfect when I do that. It can be a little messier. Also, my canvases are huge. My canvases are massive. So it looks really like, messy close up, but then when you zoom out, it doesn't. It just looks like art. But yeah, no, just because I have huge canvases. Huge canvases. The downside of working on old art is that I want to go in and like fix some things throughout the piece, and I have to try really hard not to. But the like shoes and the feet was definitely something that I felt like I had to go back in and mess with, because I just don't feel like they were gonna, the way that they were before was gonna work. No shade to the work that I did before. It's just that I feel like I can do better. I think I'm gonna have to do the drawing lines, yeah. Yikes. I am looking at the dropped frame report, and boy howdy, oh, my poor guy is heating up. My poor guy is jostled the.
Hello, Mr. President? Oh no.